I'm going to start dancing here in the studio in just a minute, playing some nice, easygoing summertime music. Hi, I'm Donna Francavilla. I am not Richard Dixon. Richard Dixon is gambling in Biloxi. I am filling in for him. I'm the owner of Frankly Speaking Communications and also a reporter for CBS Radio National. And if you listen to Richard's show pretty regularly from time to time, you know, I'll call in, or especially when there's a big story going on and I'm covering it for CBS, and I'll contribute to his show. And Richard was kind enough to have invited me to be here today while he gambles and tries to become richer. So it just delights me, because now I get to tease him about something instead of it being the other way around. He's always trying to tweak me and give me a hard time. And Austin, thank you so much for producing this show. You know, the barbecue at the zoo is something that Richard is involved in. It is a Cristo Rey fundraiser, Holy Family Cristo Rey event on August 15th. Is having this event, Barbecue at the Zoo, and where they're trying to raise money for the operations for the school. And if you're not familiar with the school, let me tell you about it. It's really wonderful. It is a Catholic school that educates students who need or want a private education and maybe can't get it because of where they live or their resources. And so these students sign up, or their parents sign them up. But not only do they come and show up for school every day, but they also have to work after school. And so private corporations take them in and expose them to what the work world is like, showing them something that they may not have ever seen or may not be able to see given their life circumstances. And so the Barbecue at the Zoo is a fundraiser. And in fact, there are live bands that are going to be there, including Eric Essex. And I think you have some music from him, don't you, Austin, that you wanted to play?
Yeah, I can pull that up in just a second.
Okay, but didn't mean to catch you with your pants down there. Oops. But anyway, if you come, it's August 15th. You will see Richard Dixon there because he's assembling a team, and they are going to come up with a barbecue recipe that he's hoping will win. So I'm also going to be there, and we'll see just how good Richard's culinary skills are. It's at 3 o'clock, runs through 7 o'clock. Barbecue at the Zoo to benefit Holy Family Cristo Rey High School, and should be lots of fun, several live bands, good food, barbecue, pork, all that stuff. And when Austin finds the music, we'll play just a little bit of the music that you can hear if you come. But let's get back to talking about Donald Trump and the national election. If you've been following it, what fun. I mean, there's so many candidates. It's like romper room, though, because it's really become, as Heidi so aptly said before the break, it's like reality TV. So Heidi Harris has been kind enough to stay on the line with us. She's a very popular talk show host in Las Vegas, and has been, you know, as I said, kind enough to join us from all the way over there, and give us her perspective from across the nation about what she's observed. Heidi, how many candidates are there now? Have you been keeping track?
I think the latest is 16 or 17.
I thought it was 17, and that's just on the Republican side.
And Hillary's getting nervous because now it looks like Joe Biden may run. Hillary thought she had a free shot finally, and now it's looking like she's not as popular with her own ranks. You know, she just doesn't have the charm that Bill does. Whether you like her policies or not, you have to have at least one teeny little bit of charm, and she just doesn't have it.
Oh, my God. You know, I covered her when Barack Obama came down to Selma, and Hillary also came down, and I ended up covering Hillary because she spoke at a church. This was years ago when they were vying for the Democratic Party nomination. And Heidi, I'll never forget this. She said her opening statement to this church that was packed full of people was, "This is the day the Lord has made." And it was as if she was reading from a script. It was as if she never heard that phrase before. And it was flat and it was boring. And I remembered so distinctly because I played it over and over again, which in a piece that later aired on CBS. And then I met Barack Obama. And of course, he didn't have much political experience, but he was out there on the streets and he was shaking hands and he was laughing and he was smiling and he was so charismatic. You just wanted to hug the man. And I thought, she doesn't stand a chance. Do you really think that Joe Biden is more personable?
I think he's gaffe prone. He's like your crazy uncle. A lot of people, we've all had one of those, right, in the family. They said the stupidest things, and you go, really? But once again, he's got more likability. Obviously, he's trying to, I don't want to say he's capitalizing on the tragedy of his son's death, but there's a lot of talk that his son told him on his deathbed, Dad, you need to do this. That will be part of the narrative. So, I don't know. I think it's fascinating, though, because he could give her a real challenge. Folks are realizing, though, as long as she's been running, which potentially for years and years and years she has been, people still don't like her. And in this country, if they don't like you, they're not going to vote for you. To your point about how likable Obama was, nobody gave this guy a shot. Here's a scrawny kid with a funny name, no political experience. It was Hillary's turn. Guess not.
Mm-hmm. And when I look at Biden, too, he's got a great story because didn't he overcome brain cancer at one point?
His son died of that.
Oh, his son died.
He lost both of his, as you know, he lost his wife and his daughter many, many years ago, his first wife in a car accident, and raised his two sons on his own. And he does have a story that's compelling. And even though he says some things I think are pretty stupid at times, he's so much more likable. I'd rather have him over for dinner any day than Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton, because he just seems like he's a likable guy.
And he doesn't have an email scandal that's hanging over his head.
You know what? Here's the thing, though, about Hillary. Just my opinion, the people who like her don't really care about her emails. She could sacrifice a child on primetime TV, and I swear to you, the people who like her would make an excuse for her. They don't care. Because if they cared about scandal, they wouldn't like anybody with the last name of Clinton. So they continue to defend her. I think it's her personality that's going to kill her, not her scandal.
She does seem highly intelligent and very competent. What did you think of her performance as Secretary of State?
Well, I don't think she accomplished anything. Not one thing. And what happened with Benghazi certainly falls in her lap. Ultimately, it falls under her jurisdiction, and all we got was, a lot of excuses made and obfuscation, and nobody wants to talk about what really happened. And she doesn't own it. She did a lot of airline miles, but what did she ever accomplish? Absolutely nothing.
All right, I hear the music, and I'm getting the hint. He didn't make the break signal to me this time. I think just the music in my ear was all he needed to do. That means we need to go to break. Heidi, stay with us for the second half of the show, will you?
Sure will.
All right. Okay, we're going to have them both on at the same time. Can we do that for a little while?
I'm coming on.
Okay, all right. We're going to try something new. Heidi, this won't hurt a bit. Anyway, just stay with us for a few minutes. On the other side of the show, we're all going to have Jeffrey Lord at 2 after this break, and you guys can talk for a few minutes. And thank you so much for joining us. You've been fascinating. But hang on. Stay tuned. This is 1070 WAPI, and we will be back right after this break.